All right, everyone, welcome to an MG Friday Night Rogue broadcast with all things paranormal and more with Bryan and Bowden. Welcome, sir. Welcome back once
Thank you.
again.
It's a pleasure to be back. I'm going to give myself applause.
There we go. We don't have all the sound bites, so
Well,
please
I
feel
have
free.
I have a whole. I use a Rode deck.
Oh, okay.
The Rode, and
The
I mean, I have
Roadcaster?
Rodecaster. It's freaking awesome because
Okay.
you can take phone calls. So if you're doing a show again and you
Hmm.
want somebody calling in or asking, hey, ask us questions, you can have people give them a number, like do a Google number because you don't want those people calling you all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like I could put in, I mean, whatever I
Oh,
want.
cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I have farts, whatever. I have a ton of different things.
Nothing wrong with
It's
farts.
good to be back. I mean, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
And,
you too. You too. So, what we were talking very briefly about the earthquake that hit New Jersey. What's your take on this?
Okay, it's a combination of a lot of different things. First of all, it was reported about a couple of years ago that sorry about that microphone, over the state, the whole entire New England is a potential of a super volcano.
What?
And New England actually is, well, you're from Vermont up there.
Yeah.
New England is actually raising up because what's happening is there's some magma activity underneath it that's kind of steaming it up and pushing the elevations increasing. There's also been certain, I forgot the name of the term. Please forgive me. I didn't know it was going to be part of the final. At the Great Lakes, that also may be under some kind of chamber or a volcano, or maybe part of the whole thing. So if you combine that with tectonic plates, which go throughout the globe, and one of them it's the Ramapo fault. It cuts right through that whole area there. It's a big fault line. And I believe the one in DC 12 years ago or whatever it was, or no, less than 12 years ago. Because I was in the Jersey Shore when it happened. I'm at my aunt's house in Shark River. I'm in the water. It's sloshing around. I don't feel anything. Like you feel an earth, like, no, if the water's moving,
Right.
The chandelier was going. It was the one that hit down, I think, by Virginia. It went and cracked the Washington Monument.
Oh,
Do you remember that one?
Yep.
That was the most real recent one that people kind of got the message. And it's active. It's all active. There's the mid-Atlantic rift. There's a whole rift in the middle of the Atlantic, and it goes from the central, the middle to the southern. And that sucker has been, I'm always monitoring this stuff. Because if that vibrates too much, the plate with the round it's just going to start moving. I mean, that's naturally moving. Okay. Then you combine astronomical forces, off-planet forces, full moons. We just had one on the you have the eclipse coming up, but something that's very interesting, and I brought my notes because I want to make sure that we get everything perfect.
Cool.
What happened is the same scenario of the lunar eclipse followed by the solar eclipse that cut across and went from the southern portion of the U.S. up to the north into Canada. There was one that happened in 1881. Okay. And what's really interesting about it, when that happened, there were earthquakes. It went through the New Madrid Fault. And that thing was just active, super active. Earthquakes of 8.7 on the East Coast. They felt things in the West Coast. It's almost 3,000 miles away. The Mississippi River itself started to flow backwards the wrong way for like 3 hours.
Oh, shit.
They had, you have that, and you have other things like, they reported there's earthquake lightning. There's lightning bolts that come up. There's smells. There's gases from it. They had something that was really crazy. It's called earthquake smog. And what happens is the gases are released from the earth, lots of cracks and fractures. And it was so dark. It was dark for 3 days, where you could even like light a lamp and you couldn't see crap.
Oh, wow.
right? So there's a lot going on there at this point. But another thing that people don't talk about, and you only get it with the tinfoil hat people, the UFO believers, like the people. And I'm a UFO researcher. Okay, just so everybody knows. I started a career in finance. Okay, I studied physics, astronomy, thinking about becoming an astrophysicist, and then I said, yeah, there's going to be a lot of hot chicks at the college every year, but I'm not making six figures. I have to publish, and then if I create something, I don't even own the damn thing. So what's the point? So I went into business instead. I was going into thought about architecture, engineering, whatever, and that's where I spent most of my career, broker dealers. Okay, working for DLJ, CSFB, and the idiots at Bank of Montreal. Really bad idiots right there. But but I study this stuff. I go out looking for Bigfoot. I go out looking for the creature called Dogman, which is basically, if you've seen the movie, and I think we've broached this, but I don't know who else is listening. Van Helsing, the werewolves in it, the tall. That's what we're talking about. And for the life of me, I didn't want to believe this. I thought we were jumping the shark, like on when Fonzie jumps the shark on Happy Days, and it's real. It's really real, and there are a variety of them. Picture something that's 9 feet tall that looks like a werewolf.
Jesus.
I had a one-on-one encounter with it while peeing. Not because I was scared. I had to pee. I didn't want to pee at the cemetery we were investigating.
I remember you talked about that. Yeah.
And
keep going.
It wasn't, my buddy's like, get in the car, bro. Get in the car. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. It was like Austin Powers, evacuating bladder. And I just started peeing and peeing. And one thing I never did was I'm the closest to the woods at this point. And I'm 6'1" tall. We're parked on a 3-foot grade. This thing was no more than 20 feet from me in the shadows. And I'm peeing in front of it. If you have dogs, you know that if you're the alpha, you're the big dog, you pee on things. That's my spot.
Yep.
Screw you. That's my spot. So right now I'm peeing in front of something who's just sitting there with the glowing amber eyes in the shadows. And he's really, really tall. He's just sitting on his haunches. And my buddy's like, get in the car, bro. We got to go. I'm going to fucking leave you here. And I'm like, you're not going to leave me here. You don't want to deal with my wife. Come on. You're not going to leave me. So the thing lowers itself after a while. And then one of my tells is I start getting goose flesh, goose pimples, whatever. And I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I got in the thing, his little Jeep. He did like a Mario Andretti, boom, spun around. And I'm looking at the rear view because I'm waiting for this thing to come in. But in hindsight, because it's always hindsight, I'm 6'1" tall. I'm standing on a 3-foot grade. That makes me 9 feet 1 inches tall. Do you understand that? We understand that. Okay. This thing's sitting down. Now went up to where my nose is. So this thing was about 8 feet tall sitting down, which means that if it stood up, it's going to be close to 11 feet tall.
Yep.
So I was thankful to get out of there. But I investigate all these things, and there's a lot of correlation in this world, all this mysterious stuff. I'm a remote viewer. I put that in my title because I do it. I do remote viewing where you take your consciousness right here. It's a God-given ability. Everybody has it. It's talk about your sixth sense. Like you ever go in some place like, no, my stomach. There's going to be a fight tonight. Yeah. That's your senses kicking in. And
AJ and I know about that because we're motorcycle riders. We get that sense like there's something. I've done that way. You know what? I don't think I should ride today. I don't get it a lot, but when I do get it, I don't ride.
Don't ride. I'm trying to get a bike down here, but I've settled for like a Can-Am or something, so I don't get any crap. But as long as I can stick a Henry rifle in the side of it, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my daughter wants, the youngest one's like, I'm getting a motorcycle.
That's awesome.
She's insane. She's just insane.
Just
but
like you.
I mean, it's a lot better down here. Well, where you guys in Jersey kind of gets kind of cool. Some of the side roads, the rural routes, they're not that
the
bad.
Pine Barrens, and
That's a great ride. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great ride. It's easy, but and Florida's great. I mean, especially with the heat and stuff. But in the summer, like right now is alligator mating season. You kind of don't want to come too close to them. And if you do, just let them lay into you, buddy. Just let them lay into you.
just lie back and take it.
Just take it. Just take it. Yeah. So it's a little bit weird, but yeah.
I'm in Texas now, so like Dallas Fort Worth area. So I know the summer heat on the bikes is a little warm.
Yeah, it's warm down in Texas. What part of Texas again?
In the Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah, that gets a little bit humid. Am I close?
Yeah, it gets some like probably 80% relative humidity, and like July is the worst.
Cool.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad at all. But I mean, Texas is so vast. I can go any place that's reciprocity. I'll go. Yeah. Because I'm planning. I'm trying to. Actually, the little one that's the crazy one. Her best friend, which lives around the corner, her dad's a movie and TV producer. Oh. So I've got a couple like TV and movie producer. Yeah, and I got a couple ideas for shows, and I'd be more than happy to. The way I want to do it is I want to kind of combine, the investigation and get real evidence. I don't want to put on crap. Yeah. But I also want to get, people locally, like, where's a good place to eat, go to eat, where's the drinking place, whatever, combine a bunch of different things in one. So if you see me knocking on the door, hey, Vince, come on out with a bike.
Absolutely.
Because I'm all about the, the love and the karma. And I want people to, like, it'd be great. Introduce yourself. I have this thing, it's called Masculine Geek, and, a bunch of guys, and it's like, I mean, this is so needed. I've told a ton of people, I don't know if they've come on to watch or pay attention to it, but men need this.
Absolutely. That's why we do it. Yeah.
So many, yeah. And it's kind of like, it's refreshing, it's like guys could be guys, Mm-hmm. Some of the commentary on the Twitter account was good too.
You like that?
Some of it's great when I see it, because I haven't seen you in a while, and I didn't know if we were disconnected, whatever, or you kind of got slammed. Like
I was banned from all Twitter, even after Elon took over, I was banned.
Well, you know what?
And that's saying something.
You want to get on Telegram?
I am on Telegram.
I'm on Telegram. I think it's Sir Bryan or something like that. Whatever.
I'll reach out to you.
If you're using the same number that you're using, I'll look for it and whatever.
Yeah, same number.
I don't want them harvesting my phone as address book. Not that I have anybody special in there. It's like none of their fucking business.
Exactly.
And by the way, the drink tonight for a partial is this beauty right here. Ooh. It is called Glenfordray. And what's great about it is this is aged in Caribbean rum musk
barrels
for the aging process. So you kind of getting the treat. It's like the best of both worlds. You're getting a pretty good scotch and then like a rummy taste afterwards.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's really inexpensive too. You can go to whatever I forgot what the vineyard or whatever the grape place is. Total Wines.
Total Wine, yeah, they have a lot of good stuff. Yeah,
I put because my fraternal organization's up in Ridgewood, and I put my friend who's also a brother of mine in the system. You get a discount, and they go, "Oh my God, he's here!" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, Mister," and I'm like, "No. We buy a lot for our lodge. No. Like, dude, how much do we buy?" He goes, "We buy a lot." So they thought I was him.
That's
like,
funny.
Holy crap. But getting back to, this is what I do and study, because it's
saying you do the remote viewing and
a remote view thing. So I do a lot of work for help. I do readings too. I do a lot of free stuff pro bono, but I have people that also pay me. So it's just, I do, I'm just telling you what I charge. It's $100 an hour if you're paying me, but it's not just an hour. I usually go a lot longer. And then if I get other stuff coming, I'll just send it to you. I'm not overburdened with charging people, but I've seen things. I've been doing a lot of deep meditation, which I think is really important for everybody to kind of do. It's super important. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I use on a meditation, I use this thing called binaural beats. And because I can't have somebody go, all right, close your eyes. Relax.
You can't do the guided meditations now.
No, I cannot, and I just want to smack someone. You know what I'm saying? It's just shut up. I'm almost there. Ladies, what we all call it.
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost there. Like you're in the heat of passion. She goes, are we going to your mother's tomorrow? Oh, cock blocker, go. What the yeah. So I do this meditation stuff, and you're gonna hear it right now.
All right.
And it's hemi-synced. And this is an app. It's free. It's on some of it's free, some of it's charged, but it's like $7 by Bonsai Labs called Brainwave. But what this does is, and it's really interesting. This is using like it goes from alpha, beta to theta waves, and it's hemi-synced. And each one of the waves gets you deeper and deeper, but awake depending on how many the wave that they're using. So you can kind of relax, meditate. And I've been doing a lot, like 30 to 40, anywhere from 30 to an hour during the day. And how I started always is I'm not going in there to remote view or anything or see anything like that. I go in there, and before I do, I said, show me what you need me to see. Tell me what you need me to know. And I just go. And whatever happens, happens. And I started seeing some pretty interesting things taking place. Very interesting. I on the 27th or 26th of this month, I started seeing events. I was able to see events all throughout the Middle East. And it came across this thing in the desert that it started to appear. It looked like a vortex. And it started circling in the sky, like something you would see. I'm going to give you some examples visually. In Indiana Jones, in the first one, when they're opening the ark and the clouds are circling, it was like that.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of lightning, a little bit of red in there, like fire. I'm like, what the hell is there? Is that a rocket launch? And then this beam kind of comes down onto the ground, and it looks like a light bridge, but also looks like a mushroom cloud. I'm like, what's going on here? And I see things traveling down the light beam. This I know is taking place where I'm seeing this. It is in the desert to the left of a city, and it's either Dubai, Saudi Arabia, or Iran. And I had the pages, and I'm just trying to find them because I had the pages set up for the most part. Where are you? And when I find them, I'll actually share it with you guys so you can actually see what we're doing for the most part. But I felt like there was something going on there, but it felt a little bit like it looked a little mushroom cloudy, but it looked like something else was coming, not on this earth, but through a portal or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm interested. I'm paying attention. Then I get taken into a mountain that's there, and I see a variety of different rockets, military rockets. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I pull back on that, and I said, I like to reset. Sometimes I'll say, let me reset. When I reset, I'm traveling in a military vehicle. I'm in the front like a Jeep. I've got a camera and a monitor with what's going on in the news and a couple of monitors. And I see there's a news reporter reporting on this thing that appears in the desert. And it looks like a mushroom cloud. It is the craziest thing I've seen in a while. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why is this taking place? Where is this coming from? And it looked like a mushroom cloud. I'm driving towards it, and it's the most bizarre thing in the world, because when you look at the picture of it, let me see if I don't have it with me right here. I can probably download it again. I could have sworn I saved it because I talked about it on a show I did called Awaken Nation, which is on it's on every week day of the week, but I do every other Thursday. And it looks like I got to be honest, it looks like a mushroom cloud. It's coming down straight ahead. There's like that mushroomy feel to it. We're in the truck. It's being broadcast all over the world. I know it's going global, and I saw it at the beginning of April, which is where we are. Yeah, we're at the beginning of April right now, and I'm just like, okay. Then I go back and I go into my, go back, do another remote viewing session. Well, meditation, it becomes remote viewing for the most part. And I see some funky stuff going on where I see the eclipse start happening, and then the next thing I know, I see what feels like some natural disasters taking place. And mind you, I actually did publish my my viewing and statement of what I just told you online in Facebook. I do, as a warning, like, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but this is pretty damn interesting. So people should be really paying attention. Oh, I got it right here. So I'm going to share that. Oh, how come it's not in the same thing? Let me see. Just give me one more second. Thank you. Oh, that's because it was a different one. So I'm going to give you, sorry, I was stuck. There was an event. I'm going to open this right now and share it to you. And on the bottom of the screen of your screen, you will see, I'm going to present, and you'll see what I was talking about. This is
when you present, I'll just add it to the studio.
Yeah. So I'm sharing this right now.
Yeah, sure. There we go.
There it is. So this is how it starts, right? So you got in the upper portion of it, you're getting, I see the city is made out of like different level piping. And I know it's a city, and I'm getting Dubai, and I wrote right there, desert near a city, brown dirt, sand, silver glass looking like mirrors, and then the vortex in the sky starts to appear to the left of it in this mountainous region on the top over here. And this is what the vortex looked like right there.
Yeah.
And it's like a light bridge. Object and craft seem to be lighting up the surface and coming down. I saw what seems like these vehicles and individuals. I don't know what they are coming out. So then when I reset, I go, this is where we get to the traveling in the car part. And I see this column in the distance. It's big. It looks like, if you look at the top of this thing, that looks like a mushroom cloud. I said the center has a white or bluish glow, like welding or afterburners. It's shown on TV news globally, night sky, but it lights everything up. Feels like the Middle East, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Iran. I see stockpiles of different types of rockets. I said, is this a launch date? Getting an April date, but not really specific, but the beginning of it. And the way I see it is, I see the beginning of a calendar. So I'll see the tail end of March, the beginning of April in my mind's eye. And then after this, the next thing I'd faded into, and I traveled into this light, and I see this city of crystals. And it's the most weirdest thing in the world. And the best way I can describe this is if, and I ended that one right there, so I'll shut that off. If you've ever watched the original Superman, when he goes back to his home planet and all the crystals that are that's what it looked like. But they were glistening in it. And then everything started ending. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And that was the culmination of a couple of ones where seeing the moon and eclipse, that could be subliminal, it could be forced in there. I'm getting this vibe the day before. It was the day after that, 28th, I believe it was. I get this vibe that something is going to be hitting the US. Something is going to happen, and it's going to be a combination thing, and I can't figure it out. I don't know if we're going to be attacked by some other country. That could be China, Iran. It could be any one of them, North Korea with Rocket Man. That, and I'm getting that vibe. I'm getting something to do with the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh boy.
And I'm getting a wave. Now, And then I'm seeing things coming from out, like not in space, from outer space, which would be meteors or asteroids or what have you. Mostly meteors, and it's almost like it's hitting the planet. And I'm seeing like big, when they do a nuclear blast in the water, these plume of water just flies everywhere. And this is all happening in junction with what's going on in the Middle East. So that's why I put out a warning a while ago. I said I really have I'm nervous about from March 25th, and originally I said to April 12th, because that's when the end of Passover is and Ramadan and whatever. I pushed it to April 15th. And right after I did that, within anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, there's a group called the Future Forecasters Group. They're a bunch of remote viewers. They forecast not only future events, but they try to highlight crypto and see where it's going and wager on it. So that's how they do their analysis. They're like, oh, it looks like Bitcoin's going to pop, it's going to go down. And then they'll buy it. They'll see other points where they could buy it in the future and buy it. And one of the lead guys there, Dick Alger, he did a video, and it's in the morning, and I'm sitting there smoking my cigarette, drinking my coffee. I'm like trying to wake up, and I'm running through some Instagram crap. And sure enough, there's a video from him, and he's like, something's going to happen in March. Something's going to happen, and he sees this disaster, and it's global. And I'm like, when I was tired, as soon as I heard that, like everything woke up, and like I'm watching this thing. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm getting validation from what I just saw a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He's seeing it. So he said the end of March. I don't know him. I wish I did. I'd love to be part of that group. But I contacted him anyway, and I said, you better go back in there, because my dad is saying it's going to go in from March into April and up to the 15th. And I never heard back from, you try to contact people online. It's like,
right.
Like, yeah.
It's
like Homer Simpson. Yeah, it's like a Homer Simpson. There's that one episode of The Simpsons. Like he doesn't write letters to screen stars. He writes letters to movies. Dear Mad Max, you rock. Yeah. But just I would love to have his feedback on it.
Yeah.
So I still feel there's something going on between October 25th and April 15th for multiple reasons. And we're getting back to the last time we had this type of transit, and the lunar eclipse, which took place on March 25th, and the solar eclipse, which is taking place on
the
8th to the 9th.
Yep.
Okay. The last time that happened, and like I said, it went to the New Madrid fault, 8.7 on the Richter scale. I mean, these are the strongest earthquakes ever. But let's get into that and what may be, kind of going on. Part of that is that there are people out there that talk about a planet called Planet X, Nibiru. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Okay, so our solar system is the path around the sun this way. This thing goes the opposite way. This planet, it's about the size of Jupiter 5 times. It's almost 5 times the size of Jupiter. It's been hidden behind the sun because it's in that area of our solar system. You will find people, and I forgot to bring show you the pictures, but there are pictures of people online taking photographs in the morning of the sunset or the sunrise, and you see 3 suns in there. You see the sun in the middle. You see another one pretty big on the right side, and then something to the left. So Nibiru may have Planet X, maybe in those images, as well as a planet that's hiding behind it. Now, this planet is so big that the tail that surrounds it is 100 million miles.
What?
Okay, 100 million mile tail, and it's filled with rocks, debris, and all that is approaching Earth. You take that and you take the sheer size of it and put it towards where Earth is. You're going to have the planet, compressing down. You're going to have the poles shifting because of the pressure coming, gravitational pull. And they're talking about not only pulling the poles back like a rubber band, like stretching them, but this thing is talking about extreme pressure pulling up the earth. And it's being erased like the Atlantic Ocean fracturing in the center.
Yeah.
And then what happens is as it passes by and after all that pressure, kind of like when the moon gets, the full moon, the effects of the gravitational pull, it's getting closer, but multiple times stronger. This could be a contributor to the 1881 quake. This could have been a contributor. It could be a contributor that they already know that it's coming.
Yeah.
NASA published about this very quietly, mind you. And NASA stands for not a straight answer because
correct.
Not a straight answer. And you get that with the debris and it starts hitting this planet, then you're going to have like major problems. You get space rocks coming in the size of a VW or a school bus or multitude of those, and they hit the planet. That comes into, look what happened at over, in the I forgot where it was, the Tuskegee event.
Siberia.
In Siberia.
Nope.
That thing went and did it 5 miles above the earth. It obliterated. I mean, the trees were knocked down, old growth forest, totally obliterated, knocked down. The center of it after it hit, totally on fire.
Yeah.
You have that same thing hit the ocean anywhere. You're talking about a tsunami that's a minimum of 1,500 feet tall, traveling probably Mach 3.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So you ain't going to ride it out on the bike.
I'll ride anyway. That'll be a good way to go.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, later, fuckers.
Right?
Going on that. So that could be a contributor to what we're, experiencing now.
Gotcha.
Globally.
Shit.
There's also, I'm going to get conspiracy theory on you. So I think people know HARP, right?
Oh yeah.
HARP
Weather
is a system that was, it was weather control. It was sending, messages into the stratosphere and whatever. So there's another 2 products with HARP. It's called Thor and Hammer. These are other individual they're all based on each other.
All sub projects, yeah.
Right. And what happens is with Thor and Hammer, not only do they get to play around with sending energy or play around with weather, but they pull the energy from the sun. They harness it kind of like a Death Star.
Yep.
And they can pinpoint it wherever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing now is that used to be like 27 acres or whatever the hell it was, 200 something acres in Alaska for HARP, the antennas all over the place.
Wasn't there one in one of the Hawaiian Islands, which is why they had that fire?
I don't think it was HARP. I think it was, well, maybe. I think it was a DEW, which is a direct energy weapon.
Yep.
And it's, we have them. It's a subcategory of what HARP can do. If you harness the energy from the sun and you can, use a laser or energy to direct it, not only can you direct what it does and what depth it does, but you can tune out light frequencies or colors and only target things that are red. Oh, that would be me. Red, green,
straight out of Tesla's notes.
100%.
Yep.
Right? I mean, guys, sorry. I used to think Einstein was a genius. He's nothing. Einstein's a Girl Scout compared to Tesla.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the guy was, he was fucking weird though. He needed masculine geek.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I got tired of talking to my bird, so I'd come out and play with you. Okay, great.
Roll up a character.
Yeah, just pick whatever. Okay, you come up against a couple of orcs. I use my Tesla rod. Okay, we're not using Tesla rod. I roll a 24.
Critical hit.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But I think that was done And I don't know if you've ever been to Lahaina. What an amazing place. Absolutely stunning. And the combination of that with smart cities.
Yep.
And every time there's a wildfire or in an area, there happens to be a smart city nearby or being developed. Right?
Yep.
I mean, put 2 and 2 together. What do you get? Oh, it just happened naturally.
Yep, just start buying up the land.
It's criminal what's going on, and hopefully people will start waking up. And it's not just in America. These same people that are doing this have no allegiance to any country, and they're everywhere. They're currently fighting a war in Israel and in Gaza, now in Lebanon. The same people are on both. It's the same group. They're just on both sides, and they're doing the conflict.
Yep.
One's advising one group, one's advising the other, and they don't give a shit because war means gas prices go up, guns go up. It's a win-win. And if you thin the herd, it's better for you, right? If you're
that's like a side benefit.
I'm just saying that you need to look into things. It's not, it's not just about religion. Although a lot of these people kind of go on that satanic route, and it's kind of strange. 2 and 2 and some weird stuff. But let's get out of the satanic route for 2 seconds, because we're going to get into a little bit more of a religious thing. So something, and I'm going to share something with you too. So I'm going to share another couple of, we have visuals tonight.
Nice.
So, it's just make it easier.
A little bit of geek and tell.
Yeah. So this is the eclipse that's coming up, when we're going to talk about it. And again, this is all related. Ground shaking, very biblical, very God, fear God type of thing, and the fact that the ground is shaking, people, if you don't know, you could be, it's an act of God, Chicken Little run, right? So here's what happened. Let's go to some dates here. In 2017 and 2023 and 2024, these are the 3 years, right? 2017, we start up here, and you're going to see my plus on that. And we had an eclipse that came down.
Yeah.
Then in 2023, the eclipse was from the same entrance. It cuts across the United States right there.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. And it goes through like 7 to 10 towns called Salem. Salem. Peace, 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 peace. 7 times, 7 towns it goes through. From the top left all the way down. There are 7 towns named Peace or Salem that it's going through.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting, because what's the chances that that's going to happen? And people, like, it was the Freemasons. I'm like, people, we only had 13 colonies back then.
Right.
The Freemasons weren't all the way out west, in Vino country. It's kind of biblical, right? Kind of, if you believe in it.
A little bit. Yeah.
So this letter that you're seeing right here, across, right? It looks like an A, right, on the side.
It does, yeah.
You're an anarchist, but it looks exactly like the letter Aleph. ALEPH. Okay, that's Aramaic. It's an Aramaic letter. So here we go. God bless you.
Thank you.
And then, if you get into the cross end of it, right here. Okay. So now the April 8th one is coming from the bottom left and cutting across all the way up to the top. And it's going through, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going through 7 cities named Niven, which means repent in Hebrew. It also, it is cutting through a place where it X's and crosses together in the middle, a place called the Rapture. It passes through the Noah's Ark that was just built. Someone built the huge Noah's Ark.
Really?
Right? Oh yeah. It goes through places named Jonah. Okay. And that looks like the letter. So we have the letter A or Aleph. It's Aramaic.
Yeah.
And then we have the letter, it's an X, but if you could also look at it as Tav.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here's where it's going through. Nivea, New York, Nivea. There's a Jonah over here. It cuts across. It's only Nivea, Nova Scotia. It's not a joke. And yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Peace, repent.
Peace, right? Repent. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. So getting back to the Aleph and the Tav, the two letters, so you know, Aleph and Tav. From Revelation 22, 13 through 14. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. On top of that, in the end, Jesus, if you're a believer of Jesus and you follow loosely or religiously, they always said I will return in the days of the signs of Noah. Okay. And this event, when this eclipse starts, it's happening in the following constellation: Thetis, the whale.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Jonah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, and then again, we get into this is where the ark is. It's also passing through a lot of these people on the political end, like Clinton and Bush and these other towns that are going there.
So somebody in Kentucky built an ark?
Somebody in Kentucky rebuilt
the Genesis group.
Yeah, he rebuilt Noah's Ark, like the scale. Well, I guess he knew something was up.
Somebody was talking to him.
Right. So I'm gonna stop sharing this for the time being so we can get back to this. So what's very interesting is the 8th day of April when this takes place. It's actually the first day of Nisan. And that's in the Jewish calendar, which goes back to Aramaic and Jewish. Do you know the significance of that?
I do not know.
Okay. Remember the whole thing, let my people go?
Yeah.
Pharaoh? Yeah. That is the day, the very same day of the original plagues and the 3 days of darkness. Okay.
Crap.
I mean, let's start calculating odds right now.
Yeah, right.
What are the odds? And it's pretty much astronomical. Okay. So the reason why you're having eclipses, and be it solar or lunar, is because, and God said to look up into the stars, and that's where you'll find your information, because God knows that eventually man will be able to figure out how to fake God-like events, like earthquakes and fires and tornadoes and storms. But something that they can't fake is astronomically. You can't fake a lunar eclipse. You can't fake a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Genesis 1:14, God declared the sun and the moon were for signs. The only signs that they can give us is eclipses, which cannot be manipulated by false prophets. And they speak to everybody in every language, tribe, nation, and tongue. Solar eclipses, which are going to happen on the 8th, means judgment is coming upon a nation. Whereas a lunar eclipse refers to judgment coming upon Israel. Because the original Testament, Old Testament, it's all Israel based. The New Testament comes from Jesus comes down. Hey man, all right, let's go gather around. Have some bread. And that's where it starts, and it's different, but it's all based on that calendar.
Gotcha.
And Something very interesting also, since we became a nation in 1776, there's only been 8 total solar eclipses that have completely crossed the United States. So only the United States, right?
Yeah.
And 2 of them occurred during the Revolutionary War. 3 of them occurred during the Civil War. 2 of them occurred during the Vietnam War. And now we have 2017 and 2024. Okay. What was happening in 2017? We're having a war someplace over in Russia, Ukraine.
Oh, you know, yeah.
Running up. Yeah. 2024 is a pot shoot. There's rumors and talks of wars globally. I think Brazil and Venezuela are fighting each other now.
Really?
They're throwing it down. Oh yeah. You got Ukraine and Russia.
Yep, that's still going on.
Belarus is coming in. You've got China fighting with Tibet and India. Pakistan's fighting with, they're fighting with Iran. I mean, it's all of it.
It's everywhere.
And just think about it. I mean, like it forms a bullseye over our country. This solar eclipse and the lunar eclipses. And I'm just trying to follow my notes here because there's some good stuff. So, yeah, the date, the Nissan 1, that's going to be on the 8th of April. The true name, it's Nissan 1. That's the date. Is the same. It is the same day the glory of God fell. It's the same day the inauguration ceremony of Moses at the tabernacle. And this is when the eclipse is passing through our country. On top of that, I mean, basically, if you really wanted to get religious, most people aren't religious. Most people have walked away from it. There's a lot of atheists. There's a lot. And I'm not telling you, I'm not here to preach to you. Okay? You want to believe in God, you can believe whatever you want. You want to worship a head of lettuce, God bless you. Seriously. I mean, that's not my business.
I love that reference.
You want to worship a head of lettuce? Go for it. But if you really consider, what you probably went through as kids growing up and having to go to like Sunday school with the earful or whatever it is, we are Babylon. We have become Sodom and Gomorrah. It's just incredible how the values of human beings don't exist anymore, like most of them. I mean, it was Easter, and instead of saying it was Easter, it was Trans Visibility Day.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
what is wrong with you? It's the whole look. I was born into a faith. I'm spiritual. I actually am an ordained minister, but I have a relationship with God. Okay. I have no problems with Jesus. I pull from some of the masters. Okay. Merlin's in there, by the way. That's really weird, but there's some stuff that comes out from the Welsh where Merlin, resides. There's some interesting things about it. But this is the holiest day of the year for Christians, Catholics. And you're going to make it trans. That's a slap in the face of God.
Slap in the face and a rug pull. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like going to shitting on the rug. I mean, like, what's wrong with it? Yeah. You could have moved it to we're going to move it to Saturday. Well, it's always this day. No, that was
totally deliberate.
It's Easter on that day.
Bullshit. It was deliberate bullshit. Yeah.
100%. Because we have people in office right now, no matter what side of the bird you want, left or right wing, it's also part of the same bird. And they're in cahoots with each other. And their pockets are filled, their coffers are stuffed, and we're suffering under the do as I say, not as I do.
Correct.
They don't care. I mean,
not a damn one of them.
I'm already on the list. I know people actually. I get in my car, I can see my caller ID, and then when a new person comes in, the screen changes, and I saw it change to all zeros, and I'm like, oh, someone's listening to my conversation. So I'm probably on some fucking list someplace. So mention my name at the FEMA camp. You may get a good seat.
There you go.
Yeah, and of course my printer has to go on right now.
There's a sign.
It is. Oh my God, please. God uses as a direct communication. And I think he's saying, listen, I gave you 7 different repent. You should have repented, but you didn't. You doubled down on this shit and you're trying to force my hand. And actually, one of the signs, prior to me doing the meditations, I tried to do it. I was a little bit frustrated. A lot of crap going on life-wise for I think everybody. Mm-hmm. And I did do a little bit of a meditation, and I got a message. It was like I literally hearing God's voice, and it someone said, "God is going to make His presence known very soon." That's what I heard from some other person. Like the Lord said, He's going to make His presence known, and I think He's had enough. Enough of this. We're talking about wars. We're talking about.
It certainly sounds like it. Yep.
Yeah, innocent people getting killed. We're talking about people playing around with stuff, being more satanic, or sacrifices to Moloch and some of the other, whatever they are, demons and what have you, children trafficking, women trafficking. I mean, my wife has a friend, and up in Westchester, you know about it. It's a nice area, and she parked her car, and she's not a small girl. She's about 5'5", but she's not, she's not super thin. She's got skinny legs, a little bit of a belly, and not small, and she's tough. And she went back to her car, and somebody parked really close to her. And this is a really nice area, like super nice. And as she's trying to get into the car, these other guys were watching, and they noticed that the guy was underneath the car, and some other guy, swear to God. By the way, all this type of crazy shit does happen to this one friend of my wife's. It always happens. It's just like a guinea pig. It's just the weirdest thing. Like, so I was at the mall, and someone released a tiger. Yeah, I mean, like whatever. But they tried to abduct her. Oh, there were 3 guys that came out. So these other guys came to her rescue. Good job being men. Come out there, protect people, even if you don't know them. Right is right, wrong is wrong. When the police came, she's a little bit freaked out. She didn't really know what's going on, and the police officer said this is the 9th attempt in this parking lot.
Oh, no shit.
No shit. When I got to Florida 2 years ago, down in Boca Raton, midday, some guy grabbed a 16-year-old girl by the hair and was dragging her out of a Walmart midday in front of her mother.
Holy shit.
So we're talking about human trafficking, but specifically women and children, both men and women. And I kid you not that they're used for sex trade. They're used for body parts, experimentation, and I'm going to say it, sacrifice. And it's pervasive globally. And I don't care how tough you think you are or whatever, tell people where you're going. Don't go alone. Even if you're a parent, you don't like what's going on, or you go to your car and you stick something, you see something on your car. The new thing is they'll put something in the back mud flap, so it rubs against your tire, so you stop and get out. And they either use that to get you out of the car to steal your car, or to steal you, or both. It doesn't take long. It's not a joke. Chloroform is real. Doesn't take long. So this is the world we're living in. We're having these signs and synchronicities taking place. Now we have earthquakes on the East Coast just prior to it. And they're going. You had the 4.8 earlier today, about 12 hours ago, 8 or 12 hours ago, something like that. Then you had a couple of 2.0s, and then you followed it up with another 4.0.
Yeah.
And then apparently there was a 7.0 in California just before we came on air. There's ones popping off in
Tesla's earthquake machine is working overtime.
I think they're trying to force the hand of God. And I think it's really screwed up what they're doing. Because even though Jesus prophesied he'd come in the signs of Jonah, and again, you have, here's something else that's happening. This has just happened today. So you have a war taking place between Israel, and specifically Israel's really broken into the Zionists versus Jewish people, which are non-secular, like they're just people in the Middle East, where people call themselves Palestinians are saying, we're Palestinians, we've been here, we've always been here. That area has always been inhabited by Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Okay. And then you get the other non-denominational nomads. They all kind of like chilled out. Everybody was good. People were friends with each other. And then you get the Balfour Accord, which says, no, we're making the state of Israel. And the 60s, right? And that begets all these wars, and everybody hates each other now. Okay, because you have two different groups there. You have people who are just Jewish, and I know people in that area. I know people from that are Palestinian. I know Jordanians. I know Syrians. I know Jews. I know Egyptians. I don't know if I have any Yemenis people that I'm aware of. Probably. And in general, most of the population just doesn't want to, it's pre-programmed into the head. You have to hate each other, but there's a lot of people that don't. We just want to go back to like everybody has a right to live, right? Live and let live. It's none of my business. But now you have an out of control leader that is doing some really crazy shit. And like 9/11 or Pearl Harbor, because Israel has had the tightest security in the world. I kid you not, a fly couldn't get close enough to that fence and that border anywhere without divisions coming out. That was allowed to happen. They were warned it was going to happen. India warned them, Australia warned them, US warned, everybody warned them. And they did nothing because I think Netanyahu wanted this conflict so he can go forward with his plan, get rid of the West Bank people, get rid of the Gaza Strip people, all Israel, and then put in a quadruple lane canal through Israel down into the sea, bypassing Egypt. Right? And I'm not going to, but that's what it feels like. And I'm not saying that the people not everybody's innocent. Okay. Not everybody's innocent on both ends, but there are a lot of innocent people getting killed. This conflict is we're at the border right now because Israel came in a couple of days ago and went into and bombed the Iranian consulate and killed like 7 people there, a couple of generals, a couple of, whatever. Iran's going to be attacking. Iran's going to get their revenge. And they've been very reserved in their doing anything. Hezbollah, which is to the north, has been extremely reserved. Hezbollah is a very well-oiled machine. That is a military. Israel at one point had a really great military. They don't now. They don't have the cojones to really do it. Inexperienced, unhardened individuals trying to fight a conflict. This is why it's taking them so long to do it, because the people that they're calling in, it's like all these kids say, I'm not going to go to war. No way, man. I'm going to sit here and watch my TikTok. We had a conflict right now. We're screwed. We are screwed. Gen Z or whatever the hell they are, or the millennials. Dude, if this was World War II, we'd be fucking speaking German right now.
Yeah, we would.
And we'd all have these little mustaches. Welcome, everybody. No, seriously. There wouldn't be anybody storming the beach of Normandy.
No,
and the only way you can do it is
absolutely correct.
Right. Like, driving, give me your phone. You ain't getting it back until you get that nest over there. I took my phone away from my 12-year-old. It was like she was like on crack.
Yeah.
What you mean? It's mine.
That's also deliberate.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But this is adding to, like, we're getting in a little bit, and I didn't want to go totally religious, but it's, I mean, there are signs everywhere.
Yeah.
And what's really screwed up is there's a war between Mog and Gog, okay, in the Northern Alliance. And what happens is everybody turns on Israel, and Israel gets invaded from the north, from Russia, and a couple other countries come into Israel, and they take over the north of Israel, basically Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, according to the scriptures, God says, no, Israel's my bitch. And he comes in and he just decimates all of Israel's enemies through acts of God, proving that God exists. We right now, Israel goes in, blows up the embassy. Iran's like, we're going to fuck you up in a minute. The U.S., under the leadership of Diaper Boy, said they made an agreement. Don't touch anything U.S. and we'll stay the hell out of it. So the Iranians like, yeah, okay. So everybody now has officially turned on Israel. And they're going to come in. And there was a lot of talk about to Russia with the Iranians. They've been on the phone a lot lately. And if they come in, I'm telling you right now, Israel is not prepared to handle a war with Hezbollah, let alone Hezbollah and Iran and every nation around it. It can't. It'll
be overwhelmed.
It'll be overwhelmed. So we're getting a lot of fulfillment of this prophecy stuff. And what are we supposed to, how are we supposed to think about this? I don't know what you guys are, some people are like, well, you're just grasping at straws. I mean, if one or two things happen, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's lining up, boom, 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 mile marker after mile marker
after another, yeah. What's I know we talked about this in text. What's your take also with the CERN particle accelerator coming back online on the 8th as well?
Those guys are fucking evil.
Yeah, that's my first thought too.
CERN is okay. Well, I've seen CERN, and that's okay. Let's start. Do you know where
Let's do it.
Let's. We're gonna get into this right now. Do you know where the first collider was built?
No.
Okay, it's in Illinois. It's called Fermilab, and it took place. Literally, they ramped it up, turned it on. It was supposed to find something about either portals or something related to super energy for flight or interdimensional type of stuff. That's what they were doing. They had no idea what they're doing. It was literally like going and saying, to your three-month or 3-month-old baby, like, here, play with the 22. Go ahead. Go ahead, honey.
Kids with dynamite.
It's like, right. So as quickly as they ramped it up, shit happened there, which they will not really talk about. They shut it down immediately. At the same time they shut it down, roughly the same year, the Mandela effect was coined. It's about 2010. Some woman said, I thought Mandela was dead. I could have sworn he was dead. So I have a theory. And let's get into Einstein. Let's get into Tesla. Let's get into multiple timelines, multiple dimensions. We're on this timeline. Right now, there are 3 of us and whoever else is going on. Hey, what's up, Bacon? Haven't seen him in forever.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Multiple timelines taking place right now. And there are other timelines. It's the same thing, but things are off by a tweak in each one of them. So in this timeline, we're going to say every one of us is good for the most part. We're above board. We're good. Whatever. In the next timeline, not so much. And then another timeline, we're fucking evil. And then another one, we're not even white. We're, Chinese. We're Asian. I mean, it varies. So there's multiple timelines. And I believe that when they initiated this, what they did to them was they created an explosion and a break into multiple timelines. So these are all the timelines there, right?
Yeah.
They break apart, but it's like kind of floating there in hypostasis. And then when they shut it back down, it comes back together again. But what happens is, if this is timeline A, and this is the front end of timeline A up until 1990 something. This is timeline, the tail end from 1990 on of B. And that's why some of us remember Fruit of the fucking Looms had a damn cornucopia on it. And some people don't remember it. Some people remember, whatever the Bernstein Berenstein Bears, whatever. I mean, Luke, I'm your father. I've heard it 1,000 times. I still haven't checked my VHS tape to see if it's still on there. Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah.
That's why what happened is we connected. So right now there's a Mandela effect taking place on the other timeline that we connected to, because they don't have the cornucopia, and there are people like, I swear to God, there was a cornucopia on this thing.
There was.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
And then like they're going to be people like we never had a cornucopia on their timeline, and now they have it. It's just what it is.
It's like meshed together like this. Yeah,
100%. It's like if you ever were a kid and you broke something of your parents, you try to glue that shit back together again.
It's like almost, but not quite fit. Right. Yeah, it just doesn't fit. There's like spaces, and it's like off kilter.
Right. God forbid it's a vase, because I don't think this is a good vase for you to put those flowers in.
Right? It's
and maybe like
everywhere.
30. By the way, I broke that when I was 16. We know. We just didn't kill you.
Right.
But that's the whole point. You can get kind of close, but you're not. There's always a fracture in it, and it's like, here's the weird part about it. Ever since then, up in the Chicago area, there have been these flying human winged cryptids that have been flying around Chicago and going to the Chicago O'Hare Airport. Oh, yes.
Really?
Like the Mothman.
Really?
Really. Like this human thing with like a wrap around the face, see the eyes, has wings, red eyes, and like hands. And they have video of these things, leaping off the top of the Sears Tower and some other places. And people delivering to a specific hangar portion of O'Hare have encounters with them, FedEx drivers. And a lot of them are Latino. So they're like, oh, no. That's demonic. And they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to bring because of the culture.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is, like I said, they broke it, and these things are interdimensional. But when they were like, what the hell is that crack? And they start going up to it, and they bust through the crack, and they're in this new world, and like, where the hell are we?
Yeah.
And they can't get back. So they just exist here.
Yeah.
But with CERN is playing around with this on a super level. And I think CERN is, I really do think there's people involved in CERN that specifically are trying to either create a portal or antimatter or a situation which will allow the changes to timelines and manipulating the timeline, kind of like let's kill all the firstborn young in the Bible story, so that if you get rid of them, then no one's going to attack us. We'll control it. It's the same thing. They're trying to create events which will bring forth, it could be Baal, it could be the devil, it could be, Beelzebub, whoever they are, into existence, or change the timeline so that the Messiah can't be born, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every time they do something, everything screws up. The timeline gets screwed up. I do readings. Well, it's really weird. Me personally, and a couple of my friends that are a little bit, they're sensitive. Some of them always try to play the cool role. Yeah, I don't feel that. No, I'm good. But it's like, yeah, fuck you. You're gonna be the first one running to the door, girl. Okay. But you start feeling this pressure. Like I heard you guys had like a really bad rainstorm in the Jersey area.
We did. We've had bad rainstorms for about 2 months now, and
Yep.
oddly enough, high winds even to today.
Ooh, yep. Did you also know that 90% of the radars across the country are shut down? They don't work.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole map of them. It doesn't work. Wondering what they're trying to hide.
Oh man.
Just letting you know on that end of it. But so when you get a really bad rainstorm coming in or a high pressure system, you can feel it.
Yeah.
People start getting headaches. Some people get migraines and like,
I get them all the time.
Yeah, dogs start, it's like, what's wrong? Oh, the shit's gonna hit the fan in a minute now. I get that feeling with CERN every time, and I know they're ramping it up. I'm getting it now. I've been getting it. It's really intense. It's an uneasiness, like you just don't know. Something doesn't feel right.
You probably get jittery.
It's weird. Yeah, it's just uneasy. It's uneasiness, like like when your wife takes the car out. Come home, right? Come
so
home.
True.
Yeah, when I was dating her, she took out my car and they stole fucking headlights. Yeah, but hey, what's going on? I think these experiments that they're going to be running it's all in tandem. It's whether they're bringing in the Antichrist, or not. I think that's what's going to take place, because I think they're actually trying to bring in the Antichrist. What's really crazy is, let's go back to Israel for a second. You ever hear about the red heifers?
No. What's that?
Okay. Wow. Holy crap. We're all going to hell for this one. So where the Western Wall is, the Wailing Wall is, in Israel, it's the holiest site. It's where the first temple was built. That's where the Ark of the Covenant used to be in. And then what happened over years, it was destroyed. So they have to rebuild it. They rebuilt it again, and then there was a conflict, and it got destroyed. Now the Al-Aqsa Mosque is on there. It's that Dome of the Rock. It's the beautiful gold dome that you see there. I mean, it's well known for Muslims. It's actually gorgeous, no matter what religion you are. I mean, I love certain, artifacts of this, and what a wonderful place. But there are people in Israel that are trying to build the third temple. And if they build the third temple, that is the reason why is they're trying to usher in the Messiah to bring them to God, the true Messiah. So what's supposed to happen is, when you build the third temple and you and it's completed, the Messiah is supposed to come down off of Mount Olive. It's by the East Gate, I believe it is. Walk down Mount Olive, go through the East Gate, and deliver the people God. Basically, it's fucking Armageddon. They're trying to start Armageddon because they believe the Messiah will be here, and then they'll go to God. And in order to build this temple, you need to sacrifice red heifers. They have to be under no yoke, which means they have never been under labor. There cannot be one blemish or anything wrong with these heifers. And they have to follow this, and they're, the ceremony, because the ashes of the red heifers is where all the tools to build the third temple will be blessed through the sacrifice.
Okay.
Remember, a lot of times way back when, you had to sacrifice something to get something.
Yep.
Israelis going to do the sacrifice around Passover, which is around the 22nd of April. They had 4 red heifers, 2 were disqualified. They just got 2 more. They all came from Texas, by the way.
Really?
And there's some reports, because this has been going on for a while, because every time archaeologists try to dig by the wall and try to build, just do some archaeological digging there. There's rumors that the the Noah oh Jesus Christ, the Ark of the Covenant. That's where tablets, Moses came down, not the Mel Brooks version with 15, but 10. They put it in there, and whoever has the Ark of the Covenant is protected by God, type of thing. Some people believe that it's buried underneath or it's in there. Some people believe it's in Ethiopia, by the way. And there's a temple in Ethiopia that supposedly has it because Sheba was there, and Solomon and Sheba hooked up. And there's a lot of Ethiopian Jews that are also Messianic Jews, which they believe in Christ as the Messiah. And they're supposedly guarding the true Ark of the Covenant. They recently had storms up the ass in roughly the area where the Ark is supposed to be. Like, it's this. If this was a fucking movie, all this stuff would be coming out like, that was so cool when the devil came out of no place. And it's all seems to be happening.
Yeah.
And all these little cogs are fitting into places. And you have people on the Jewish side that want to usher in the end of the world so their Messiah can take them. You want the other people that are on the satanic or the evil side that want the devil to take control of everything, their master, and then you got the Christians who support the Jews because that's when the rapture comes, which is the same thing. And Jesus comes down, the rapture, they're good, they go back up to heaven, and then you have Armageddon down here, the ultimate UFC.
Everybody else is screwed.
It's the ultimate UFC. It's not the Tyson Paul, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So I think part of what CERN's doing with this eclipse, because I think there's a lot of religious overtones going on here, and I'm just telling everybody, I don't care who you are, I don't care. I've actually advised people to make sure you have lamb the night of April 8th and April 21, 22. Get a lamb shank, get a big lamb shank, and drain the fucking blood out of it and put it over your threshold, like they did in Egypt when the angel of death came.
Yeah.
Because they're talking not only that, they're talking about these with the eclipse and it happening around the Egyptian stuff, and CERN, starting to do some experiments, which I thoroughly believe are to bring some evil stuff into this, or open a portal or a dimension where whatever evil is can come in here, and could fight any Christ or whoever Christ is coming back. They're trying to initiate the Antichrist. You have so many different things happening. You're having I'm going to come back in the days of Jonah, under the days of Jonah. You have it under the sign of Jonah. You have Jonah the whale. You have the ark of the the Noah's Ark there. One of the key signs also, I don't know if you guys do the book club type of stuff, but in the book of Enoch, which you should read, it used to be in one of the, it used to be part of the full Bible, but there's a lot of stuff in there that goes against the controlling aspect of the real Bible, the other Bible, the current Bible. But one of this, when the angels and the watchers had sex with the daughters of man and produced the Nephilim, which are giants, which are bastardization. You're not supposed to do that. One of the penalties for the watchers, they were chained to a river and drowned for eternity. And until that river, they're tasked to be there for eternity until God says, and the river dries up, and then they're supposed to be released and create havoc on earth as to test it as a testament to what God's power is going to do. And the river they're talking about is the Euphrates River. That sucker dried up. It's insane. You couldn't write a better script.
Yeah. All the dots are being connected.
Yeah, and then NASA is, their idea, fucking geniuses.
Little brain trust over there.
Yeah. So there's going to be 3 rockets that are being fired up into the eclipse, and it's for the atmospheric perturbation around the eclipse path, APEP, and PEP is the serpent, by the way. I mean, like, really? So you have the serpent. What was the serpent? The devil was the serpent, right?
Aren't they launching him at 3:33 or something like that too?
I think they are launching him at 3 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
The time when, all hell breaks loose. And, so here you go. You have all these things happening. So, I mean, you got a couple options. You can blow it the fuck off and you can say, well, whatever, I don't care. Life goes on. I got to pay my taxes and I got to make money and I got to drink some scotch or whatever it is, or rum. Right.
Well, yeah.
You're
not wrong. You're not wrong.
No. I'm not wrong at all. I'm not the wrong guy, but my idea would be like, oh, you have an eclipse and all these people are Niagara Falls. I say we drink a shitload of rum and we hijack all of them. We go pirate,
Right.
There are people talking that during the path of the eclipse, there's reports that the powers that be are going to use a bioweapon on everybody and drop it aerosol wise with planes. It's going to fly through the path so you can't see it. They're going to drop this bio virus and people are going to go back home and transfer it to everybody, which is always fun.
Fantastic.
Right, exactly. They're talking about blackouts all along the path of this eclipse. The military is being called out, hazmat military.
I was going to say, hasn't New York already declared a state of emergency even before the emergency?
100% they did.
Yeah.
And in a lot of these places, I think they're closing school that day.
Yep.
Schools are closed. Why the fuck are you closing schools? It's an eclipse.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless something's going to happen.
Yep.
It's they're closing schools. They're telling you to stock up on water, food, and drink for at least a month or 3 months. That's kind of like weird. Why? It's an eclipse. What the hell do you know? It seems like there are people that are trying to do something very nefarious. Yeah. And then there are a couple of people like trying to warn you without getting caught. They're warning you like, hey, you're going to want to get extra batteries and a couple of 6-packs for this one. You want to be, you want to have whatever.
Yep.
Because again, going back to the biblical side of it, if in the 3 days of darkness, you're talking about the 3 days when like the most hideous things that God has ever created that is allowed to exist are going to come here and try to get your soul. And they're going to try to take, and they're going to try to kill you. They're going to try to get in your home. And everybody I know a lot of people that are laughing at, oh, Mr. Doom and Gloom. And I'm like, I'm not doom and gloom. I'm saying it's worthy of being cautious with everything going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tanks with gas, all of them. Get some extra food. There's a couple of preppers online. They sell this, like, it's a little bit too late for it, but it's literally a bucket that's a square. And it's got like a week's worth of food for one person.
Yeah.
Water and heating elements. It's fucking awesome. And it floats.
Yeah. I've got my oil lamps, candles, my ammo, my water, my canned soup. I'll be good for a while.
The freedom seeds are important.
Yep.
Freedom seeds are very important, folks. I highly recommend you exercise your Second Amendment right.
Absolutely.
Because I think that
I'm also pretty handy with an axe.
Yeah, you're my next door neighbor. He's from Russia, and every day here, boom,
yep,
boom, ting, boom, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're throwing axes, and I go, what? Like, yeah, you throwing axes and knives? Yeah. I throw my knives. Like, okay, good. Because everybody on my street down in Florida, I mean, like, I go to the range with my buddy. He's like 4 houses over. He's SWAT and also the fire department.
Yeah.
And everybody on our street from the end of it to in the complex, both ends, the whole street. No one's getting to our street during the apocalypse.
Nice. You're putting
get on the roof,
right?
Yeah, get on the fucking roof.
Rooftop Caucasians.
Yeah, it's mixed down here too. It's great.
That's a melting pot. I like it.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
Fantastic.
And say, Cheech, get the Yeho. Let's go.
Nice.
Whatever it is. But
it almost sounds like fun.
It's not bad down here. I mean, it's weird. Only federal taxes. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're single, you'll probably do pretty well. A lot of talent. And it's not too bad. I mean, fun in the sun. I would recommend come down here up until about the end of May max. Go back up for May, June, July, or end of May, June, July, August, September, and then come back down after Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Because the freaking humidity in this place is brutal.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been down there in July and August like an idiot.
You walk into the swimming pool and it's like walking into hot cocoa. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Can someone put a goddamn chiller in here?
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's really bad. It's like walking into a kiddie pool, and it ain't because of the heater. It's just terrible. But I think a lot's going on here, and you could either be prepared for it, or you could, and like able to handle everything that's coming your way, or you're going to be getting a lot of these coming out.
Fatality.
It's from all over. And it's I don't know. I mean, I just say put your faith in God. If you trust that that individual, and whatever happens. Look at it this way: if we all die, no more fucking taxes. Death is
that's true.
Death is
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't have to worry about that. I mean, that's coming up too. That's what, the 15th?
Yeah, don't remind me of that.
Seriously.
Although this year, thank God, better than it has been. But
that's good.
Always like it's that one shiny silver lining at the end. Listen, we're all gonna die, but your taxes were perfect.
We're gonna miss April 15th. We're good.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 3 days of darkness they're talking about during the eclipse. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. I think it's Seth Rogen. It's all those guys. It's like the end of the world.
This is the end.
Yeah.
It's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
It is really, really well done. That's what it's going to be like, the 3 days of darkness.
Gotcha. Yeesh.
That's what they're predicting, because it's going. If this is true to form in that biblical sense, there's going to be a release of these. It's not going to be plagues. It's going to be worse than that. It's going to be the angels or the demons that are on the path to take your soul and eat you and kill you. And then if you're farming, this year we're going to have 2 different types of locusts coming.
Great.
Like big time. So on the plus side, hopefully you play the Powerball with Mega Millions for 1.1 billion. But that would be my luck, right?
Right.
No problem, Bacon. My pleasure to give you that to look forward to. You may want to get some drinks for that one, Bacon.
Right.
My luck would be like I'd win the fucking 1.1 billion, and it'd be like, there's a huge asteroid heading our way. We have 2 hours. I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
But once you die, depending on where you are, you'll if you're a really goody, you'll be at the top of the pyramid up in heaven. If you're not like totally evil, you'll be at the bottom, and then life will be better. For the most part. Free food, free movies. If you have some pets that died, like really cool dogs, like, oh my God, Bosco.
Right. Reunited once again.
Let me tell you something. I miss my fucking dog like dramatically.
Yeah, I miss all my animals.
He was great, and I only got him, and I got gypped. He was supposed to be 13 years, and I got kidney failure at like tail end of 6.
Oh,
so I had to put him down. That was just like the worst fucking thing on the planet.
That's
a bull terrier. So like Spuds McKenzie Target dog. I won't say the other company. And he was the coolest fucking thing in the world. Everybody was like, my wife used to kill me.
That is a cool dog.
We're up at Kittery, the shopping area, and in New Hampshire or Maine, tail end of Maine. And he's got the big banana nose. It looks like he has a fucking Nerf football in his head.
Right.
And people are like, what? Oh my, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh, it's a lab experiment. It's from Brookfield Laboratory.
It's a lab experiment.
We took a Dalmatian and a sheep, and
from Bell Labs.
And then after a while, my wife is on the Jewish side. After a while, I just got so fed up with everybody. Like, what is that? Said it's a Jewish terrier. You can tell by the big nose. And my wife just went,
come on, that's funny.
That was fucking awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. And she's like, cut it out. And I'm like, no, I'm not done.
We're keeping that one.
He's here shopping for his bark mitzvah.
Bark mitzvah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But he was the coolest thing in the world. I was waiting online to get the Halo whatever box set one year. I'm up in Thornwood and I'm sitting in a chair. Never in my life growing up did I think I'd be waiting online for a video game. I got to be honest. Concert tickets, fuck yeah. Video games, So I'm sitting there with all these other, and we're all uber geeks. We got to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my dog, he was 68 pounds in the summer, probably about 79 pounds in the winter. I mean, all muscle. He was like Lenny from of Mice and Men. This big guy that could kill you, but he was like really sweet.
Just retard strong.
Just want to play with. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
No. Which my oldest daughter, because she's bigger than looks older than she is.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends, his youngest daughter, and he said like, do they fight? And like, no, they don't really fight. But I said, well, like, how strong are they? Like, his oldest daughter is like, she's all right. And I said, what about the younger one? He goes, she's like retard strong.
Exactly. Doesn't look it, but it'll tear your head off.
Oh my God. They're just like,
what about the rabbit?
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was like. I want to just play with the rabbits, George. Well, he wanted to hump the rabbit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, all that guy did was eat, sleep, drink, hump, and then burp.
That's all you need, really. I mean,
awesome. My family wants a dog now. The kids want a dog. Can we get a dog? And they won't. My oldest is a bit allergic to bull terriers. So I said, look, we can get a dog, but you know the rules. And my youngest goes, yeah, I know the rules. Anything under 60 pounds is a cat. Exactly. So that's the rules. We have to have 60 or higher.
True, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, retard strong. But he was sitting in my lap there. He just climbed in. He's like, no, I'm going to sit with you, Dad. Yeah. And he's sitting there. And some guy thought like, oh, that's kind of cute. An older gentleman probably getting something for his eye. And he walked over. And my boy just went. I'm like, dude, don't come closer.
You're gonna feel the.
Do not come closer. He was pretty good, but he was on Dad's lap. Forget it. When my wife was pregnant,
yeah.
No one came near her. No one came near her. And if you had pets, and about dogs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So one of my friends, Atiba, he was 6'7", very large black man, great fucking guy. He was fantastic. My dog loved him. So when you have a bull terrier, they're always, that's not growling at them. They're like, hey, what's up? I'm happy, like, what's up? And he's like, why is he growling? I'm like, dude, he's exposed to you. He exposed his entire body to you, and you're playing with him. That's a dog that he's playing with you.
Yeah.
When you have a dog that's head on at you, stay the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
That dog, look, he's wagging his tail. Don't go near that dog.
Yeah, that's not affection.
No, it's not. It's not affection at all. But these prophecies ruin the teen years. Yes, they do. They actually screw you up. But I'm telling you what has been talked about, what I'm concerned about. I'm actually concerned about some kind of war breaking out in World War III. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried about them doing something to create World War III to prevent an election and somebody else coming in.
Correct.
Because once that other person comes in, and let me tell you something, He's coming in. He's gonna come in. All the evil and the bullshit and all the disparaging wages in life, that's fucking going bye-bye. It's our time. And this whole entire planet and everything we do is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be like really, really good. Like bye-bye taxes, bye-bye this, bye-bye that. It's going to be totally different. And they don't want it because they want their evil, like evil plan, and so I'm worried about them trying to do something to get, stop.
It is an election year.
Well, I can tell you, I used to be, a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff with data, in my day in banking. I created a client management systems for DLJ, Credit Suisse, and Bank of Montreal. I worked with their developer. I spoke techies to the other people, so I have to talk to somebody who's like, I want this to go yellow. Okay, like the retard on 4 wants the button to turn yellow, so just whatever. And I know when you front load data, I know when you manipulate the system and you get the spike that goes up like they had. I will state this, and I don't know it for a fact. I don't know people that were doing it, but I think the people that would be considered the right side of this country in the world that are tired and sick and tired of all the bullshit from all the liberal and communist and socialist crap that's going on in every country. If they try to manipulate this election, if they try to steal it, or if they try not to have it, I believe you will see the U.S. get into a civil war. It will start with Texas seceding from the nation. It'll cut across the dirty South into Florida, and then it's going to go north from Texas. And I will almost wager that parts of Canada will be involved and now be part of the southern Texas, Florida states of America.
Nice.
And eventually, over time, the New York, Chicago, whatever, Detroit, whatever. Eventually, those people will be like, fuck this shit. We don't want to keep paying for it. And they'll have a revolution. Then we'll probably merge back into one nation. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's a lot to assimilate. I'm like, how am I going to sleep tonight? Jesus.
You'd sleep. I really wish I made money off of promoting it, but
I know, right? I gotta go out I need a 24-hour. I'm recovering from a flu, so I don't drink when I'm sick. So.
That's great for the flu. Actually, I'm going to tell you something that I gave to everybody, and I gave to a lot of people. So if you have the COVID, or the flu, what you need to do is, especially up in the Northeast, you need to take at least 20,000 IUs of vitamin D.
Vitamin D. Okay, I think I have that.
But 20,000 IUs. A lot of times, like 50, whatever. You need at least. Well, it depends on your tolerance. I would start off with 10,000. But you should go to 20,000 when you're sick. You should do 7,000 to 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Okay, so vitamin D, vitamin C,
vitamin B complete. Yeah, that's complete vitamin. It'll say super B or complete. You need to take 100 milligrams of zinc.
I've got zinc. Yep.
And then you need the magic bullet. It's called quercetin.
What's that?
QUERCITEN or something like that. It's on Amazon. Quercetin, the hydroxychloroquine or whatever the hell it was. Was helping to stop. Okay. It's quercetin is a derivative, and they make a derivative of the plant, like quinine and stuff.
Yeah.
The way it works is this is all vitamins. There has been no reported interact. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. So ask your doctors before you do anything. Yes. But I will tell you, quercetin you can give it to babies. Nothing's going to happen to them. When you take and quercetin usually is a minimum of 500 milligrams. When you take, K2 is good too with the vitamin D if you can get K2. because it works well with each other. When you take the quercetin, what happens is the quercetin breaks down the virus shell and opens it up.
Oh.
Zinc comes in and stops it from replicating. And thus killing the virus. Okay. And everybody that I know of, they were like, dude, how come you didn't get COVID? And like, I'm like, because while all you motherfuckers were buying toilet paper, I bought a boatload of vitamins. And my wife's like, how many vitamins do I have to take? I'm like, just fucking take them. Give them to my kids and whatever. And I promise you, I'm going to throw another thing your way, because some people have it and some people get it. And men sometimes are afraid to admit you having the blues, right? You're like, I don't, you get worried, you get a little bit of anxious, you get whatever, depression, whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you're not already clinically, whatever. I discovered in the line of my family, they were always a little bit nervous. My grandfather was nervous. Don't get the mail. Don't do that. I'm like, Grandpa, I'm fucking just going out of my house. I'm fine. But I noticed that if I get a little antsy or, concerned or
anxious,
anxious, whatever it was, bum you out. And everybody has it, because life is an EKG. You have your peaks, you get your valleys. You just pray to God you don't flatline. Okay,
yeah, right.
That's important. If you start taking vitamin B complete, like higher dosages, and vitamin D, like heavier dosage, especially if you're above the Mason-Dixon line around the world, because you don't get the sun, and you throw some vitamin C in there, all that depression, the blues, the anxiousness, the melancholy goes bye.
Wow.
It's done. It goes away.
I've heard that grounding oneself does that too.
That is awesome if you can do that too.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off.
I've been doing that because I pretty much live on a golf course, so I've been doing that. Yeah.
I want to play so bad right now. I haven't played down here. Like the alligator. What's it? Is it in the rule book? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I'll be down. The last time I played, I was actually down in the Pine Barrens. There's a vineyard down there. It was a golf course.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
It's got like a place to stay in on one side and the golf course.
Yeah, that all right. So that's oh god,
that's the name of it.
Yeah, it's I was just talking about this recently because it is the second oldest vineyard in the nation.
Yeah.
So during the Renault Winery.
Well, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
During Prohibition, they got away with selling wine and liquor because they marketed it to pharmacies as tonics. So during Prohibition, Renault Winery was still in operation.
That's American ingenuity right there.
Yep. But they went bankrupt. Someone else bought them out, and they kind of ruined the whole brand. So,
well, the first time I stayed down there, I was filming for a program called Into the Unknown, hosted by Cliff Simon. Who played Ball on Stargate.
Yeah.
And it was the Jersey Devil episode. So if you ever get to watch it on Discovery Plus, it's the last episode, and I'm in the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
And thank God for those guys, because I was probably one of the first episodes they filmed, and they changed everything from that point forward. But Cliff was great, but I stayed over there. And then last year we do something for the Grand Master of the state of New Jersey as his golf outing, and he had it there. So we went. And it was fun. I mean, there's tons and tons of brothers down there, and it was a good time. And no, I'm not the fucking Illuminati. Don't even check my bank account. I swear to God, I'm not the Illuminati. I wish I was.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody's like, you're the Illuminati. No, you're an asshole. Check my bank account. I'm not the Illuminati. I'm just a guy that likes to raise money for charity and hang out with brothers and drink a lot of good shit. And smoke cigars.
Sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Play pool and darts and whatever it is.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a cool place. But a lot of Dogman stuff down there.
Around that area?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I actually think that the devil really was like a Dogman Mothman. Really hybrid of that.
Oh wow.
And when people are scared out of their freaking minds, they'll do or say anything like, "Oh my God, it had a horse's head," and
Yeah.
it didn't help that the crest of the family was a werven, which had like it's like a griffin but with the wings and the tail of like a devil.
Yeah.
Werven,
Wyvern.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their crest. And
Wow.
Benjamin Franklin published that they were into devil worshiping and showed the crest with that whatever.
That
Because
dumbass.
well, what was interesting is that family, the Jersey Devil family, had an almanac out, like a guide. And the person that took over in the family, which was the ones that had the baby and the devil came out.
The Leeds
He
family,
started, yeah, he started putting in more astrological stuff.
Oh.
And because that competed with Benjamin Franklin's almanac.
His almanac, yeah, okay. That makes sense. It was a
Benjamin
marketing
Franklin
tool.
was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fuck you up," and that's what it was, more so than that.
Okay.
But in that whole area, there are dogmen and there are Mothman sightings or flying cryptids. So you can have all the above there.
Wow.
Trust me,
Yeah.
if you see one of these things, everybody go, "I would have run right at it." Now, dude, you would have shit your pants, man. You see it.
Yeah, I would not be running right at it.
No, not gonna
Yeah, I've
happen.
had some weird experiences with paranormal stuff in the Pine Barrens. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it was a great story. But I don't know if you guys grow any foods or work on farms and you want to help it out. You can use electro grounding culture. So what you do is go out and get some PVC pipe, right?
Mm.
And you get some copper wire, and you wrap the copper around the pipe a bit, and put a piece going straight up, kind of like a Tesla coil, but not as tight, and then put another piece straight down into you can put one piece goes straight down into the ground.
Yeah.
The other piece, instead of it going up, you wrap it around the coil and you have it going into the pot or the plant or near the plants that you're growing, and it will start helping to grow the plants again, and you'll get bigger and better tomatoes and corn. And yeah, it's actually good for cattle too. If you do it near the cattle, they seem to be healthier and produce more milk and whatever it is.
Okay.
It's something to do with the copper and grounding yourself with the earth.
The Earth's resonance is frequency is healing.
Right. I mean, that's pretty cool. You live by the golf course. It'd be
I can step out now right onto the.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I would be teeing off my back patio.
Yeah, I've done. I haven't played golf. Obviously, miniature golf. Everyone's done miniature golf, but I just go to the driving range and whatnot. And I could just go right out here and.
I got to be honest. I mean, if you like to smoke cigars and drink and have fun, it's a little bit frustrating, but golf's really cool that way. Especially if you go out with a bunch of people.
It looks cool, and I've seen everyone in the camaraderie when they make the shot, as it were, and they're just hanging out, and it looks like it's fun.
Yep, and some of the ladies that deliver the drinks and stuff too.
Yeah, I've seen those too. Yes, I could walk to the clubhouse, which is nice because I can drink and then walk back home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like literally a minute from the clubhouse.
Oh, that's fantastic. That would be great. Vitamin D and K2. I'm trying to look at the chat that's coming up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Prophecies ruined my teenage years. Yeah. Yeah, well, don't stare. Was it Ka? Don't stare at the sun. go to Five Below, or I don't even know where you live, or go to, I think even Home Depot selling those solar eclipse lights, or glasses you wrap around.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I'm working from home on Monday.
You know what? It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to be driving, going anywhere. I'm just going to hang out.
Just fill up during the day. Go get your gas. Get some extra food, some water.
Yep, motorcycle's all gassed up.
I'll tell you, it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
Absolutely.
for events. I mean, it's better to have it and then not need it than need it and not have it.
Oh yeah, I'm not a prepper per se, but I was a Boy Scout, and
Oh, there you go.
I do follow that motto. Be prepared. Troop
Yeah,
28.
Troop 28.
Troop 28.
Our motto is "We'll fuck you up."
We'll fuck you up.
We used to run bodyguards for the Girl Scouts.
Right. I was in Hawk Patrol. Yep.
I do that. If I do that right now, my youngest will actually call back. My oldest will never respond. That's why my youngest is. I'm telling you, she's ride and die.
She's mini me. Yeah.
Oh, she's awesome. Like it's I don't know. I guess something in that mixture right there that day. The planets were aligned.
Everything. Yeah, it was like a complete.
I'm going to send you.
Right.
Thank you, Lord.
Absolutely. That's funny.
Yeah. And then, and she curses like a sailor, so we have to have the censor button. She comes home and she's like, "Wow, that teacher was a fucking asshole." I'm like, "Whoa."
Wait, how old is she?
She's 12.
Okay.
She's been doing it since she's about 8, 9.
That's funny.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about an event that's coming up July 26th, 27th, 28th of this year in Gettysburg, PA.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that. Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have the dates because it's going to be taking place at the Edison Hotel in Gettysburg, and the Eisenhower Hotel and Conference Center. It's called the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. It'll be from Friday the 26th to Sunday the 28th. First of all, Gettysburg's a pretty cool town. If you haven't been there
every year,
it's awesome. Okay.
Yep.
But what they do, Pam and Steve Barry and a couple of their other family members, they do it's called the Battlefield Bash. They have paranormal people that they're going to have wrestlers there this year. A lot of famous wrestlers, DJ, music, different, you pay some money to come in. You can, there's going to be presentations. You're going to, have a lot of swag to look at and purchase, authors and presenters and people you may have seen on Ghost Hunters and some other places. And every night there's going to be like a DJ one night, then there's going to be like a ghost hunt one night. I'm of course going out. I'm looking, separately at another night. I'm not running anything there. But the money they raise for this is for Gold Star and Blue Star families. And they also help people in need. So there was a woman that was desperately in need of a wheelchair. And they bought her a brand new wheelchair. No strings attached. So there are a lot of cool people there, a lot of famous people. Everybody's chill. And if you really want to have a fun time after that, you can go to the town of Waynesboro and stay at the Hoover House, the historic Hoover House.
Yeah.
It's haunted. It's run by the Barrys and a couple of the same people. And there's a room upstairs on the second floor. Excuse me, the third floor. And it's the room with the king size bed and the bathroom. If you sleep in there, when you go to bed at night, someone will get in bed with you.
What?
See that person. But yeah, there's I believe a woman that gets in bed and goes to sleep with you when you go in the room.
Damn.
I already told him when I was staying in there because I didn't tell my wife and kids about it.
Like that scene from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's what
but it's a cool place. It's such a cool place. It's like 5 stars. It's not expensive, and they're really great. They have a bar. They do something called table tipping there too. Every part of it's like kind of haunted, and they have these tables, these tri-leg tables. And there's one table that is controlling all the other tables, and there's a spirit within the table, and they knock on the table and they ask if they can let people, other spirits in. And this spirit, I've got her name, lets these other people in, and you can contact people that have passed on from you. And you can ask them questions, and it's yes or no questions. And the fun part is, you think, oh, they're rigging this. So what you do is you'll sit around the table and you ask, the table can start spinning or it can tip, and they find out who's there by going through the alphabet. Is your first letter A, B? When they get to the letter, it'll tip. Okay. Is it for me? No. Is it for someone? and if it gets like, if it was for you, Vince,
Mhm.
it tipped towards you, like tipping into your stomach or your chest.
Yeah.
When you ask questions, my wife's not a believer. My wife's mother came through.
Oh wow.
And she died a couple months earlier, and I was hoping that would happen. And I told her, I said, if you do this, you can ask questions in your head and no one else will know but them, and you'll get the answer. And I've tried to. So she's done it, and it started tipping. I said, "Did you ask?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she was like, when people don't believe in something, and all of a sudden they get the wide eyes, like, "Holy shit, what the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
It was great.
And this is at the Hoover House?
The historic Hoover House in Waynesboro.
Okay,
It's
so
really, really fun. So
let me throw up the here. I think this is it.
it's
Let me
great.
throw up the link.
It's just, it's fun. It's especially if you're doing like summerish type of stuff.
Yeah.
On the bike. I mean, it's a long trip for you on a bike, by the way. I don't know.
Gettysburg is about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I go every year. It's an easy ride for me.
Oh, that's cool. So you stay over in town?
I have well, there's the Brick House Bed and Breakfast. There's a couple that owns that property, 2 Civil War houses, and one that's just a studio apartment right off of Steinway Avenue. But
cool.
I've rented. I have a good working relationship with them when they give me 10% off. And I first went through Airbnb,
right,
and then became friends with them. So now I just reach out to her and say, look, can you hook me up with the 2-bedroom Civil War house, 2nd floor, and if it's available, she'll make accommodations for me. The 2nd floor Civil War house, every once in a while the bedroom door will open up. Just like randomly, I'm like, all right, there's like just let me sleep, leave me alone. I'm friendly. I'm not belligerent. I'm very respectful. I'm like, I'm here to hang out with you guys. I'm not here to cause trouble.
I'll tell you. So one of my friends, she's in Jersey. Her name's Cisco, and she was in the military. She's tough. She's like a sister. She's really, really great. She goes all the time. And last year we went, and I was driving. We went in the afternoon. Cisco and her son's older. He's legal age, but he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And we're driving, and we got up to this one house. I don't know I think it was the Jenny. It's not the Jenny Wade house. There's a house over in the main field where you can see the main monument in the field of for Gettysburg, and some of the wheat. Is you see the wheat bending. There's a
I know what you're talking about. It's not near the Eisenhower house, is it?
I don't think so. I don't remember the house, but it in front of the house there's like a brick. It's a white house.
Yeah,
it's a brick wall. There's a rock wall there and a big oak tree.
I know the house you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we're parked in front of it because it's closing. It's sunset and everything closes sunset. And I said I want to try something. So I played I saw this guy, Khalid or Kahil or I forgot his name. And he played the battle hymn of the Republic. My eyes have seen the glory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I opened the door a little bit, and I turned it up. And it's a great version of it's Cali or something like that. Kali. I'm just trying to find this because it'd be great to hear it while I'm playing and get you really in trouble. and so I'm listening to this and we're going through this. This is taking place now. I said before, if you weren't paying attention, it's all right. It's not going to be on the final. I don't have a final.
Not going to be quizzed on it.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not going to be quizzed on it. That I remote view. Okay. And the way I do it, and I can talk about it, and we can even, did we ever do the remote viewing, try to do a remote view thing?
No.
You? Okay. So whenever you want me to come back on, I'm going to pick targets and we're going to try to remote view.
All right, cool.
And I'll have like 4 or 5 targets and you'll need a piece of paper and a pen. and we're gonna sit there for a minute. And you know what? I'll play some binaural beats so you kind of like while you're you'll focus on what you think the target is, and then we'll reveal it. You'll reveal it. Everybody will reveal. And people at home, you could you can try to do it too, and just type in, I see waves, I see this or whatever, and at the end I'll reveal the target. And then you'll see the last time I did this, I was on another show with this man and woman, husband and wife were doing it, and she said, I see somebody, a woman murdered, and like this guy, and we're like, whoa, and I showed this castle, Bavarian castle.
Oh shit.
And she was like, I'm like, whoa, what the hell is that? The next day, women are pretty, she was really spot on and specific. The next day, the guy, the host of the show, sends me a link that they believe there's a serial killer over by the castle who's murdering women by the castle and dropping her into the Rhine.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, but also very morbid.
it's bit, but she picked up on it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting because everybody can do this and it's fun. If you have kids or brothers or it's about manipulating time and space and tapping into it. So if you know a ride from point A to point B is 30 minutes, I want you next time you do it, keep saying, I want to do it in 20. I'm going to do it in 20. I want to do this ride in 20. And eventually you'll start doing it in 20.
Really?
It's going to change like that.
Huh.
You're going to manipulate your own time and space. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, we're playing this, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And out of nowhere, a black cat appears on the wall there. And my friend Cisco and her son, they have cats. I'm not a cat guy. I don't hate cats. I just don't have them. Allergic, whatever. And the cat's staring at us and its tail's wagging. And I swear to God, in the back of my head, in my mind's eye, the way it works is, if I said, you see a red stop sign, you know what they look like. So you'll see it because you've seen it. You know it. It's exactly how it works. And I see soldiers all over the place, peeking their head up and looking like, where the hell is that sound coming from?
Oh, wow.
And you can feel, and she's also has some abilities. She's from Brick, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's great. And
sounds cool.
It was really a crazy experience.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just like Gettysburg.
Gettysburg it's so much fun. It's such a very cool, chill town. Just walking the battlefields there's such a sense of there's a heaviness and a sense of reverence there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that really speaks to me. So I always like going out there.
If you ever go there in the battlefield. Oh, I almost got in trouble in Gettysburg. My wife was telling me I'm not going to do it here, but I will tell you this privately. It was fucking hysterical. It would have been a great gag. But if you ever see somebody who is in like Civil War garb on the battlefield and like, oh, they're dressed up, they don't do reenactments there. You're actually watching a ghost appear.
Yeah.
And there are numerous times, and many people every year see this happen. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's really cool. It's kind of like, interesting. You should all go.
Oh yeah.
And if
I
you
hardly
do
endorse
it, there's a GPS tour. You literally buy it by the app. And they'll tell you where to start, put your GPS on, and it plays you through, and you drive through the entire Gettysburg, and it tells you all about Devil's Den and what took place, the reenactments. Awesome.
Just awesome. And the Devil's Den hike is cool too. That was a nice.
That was
hike.
Great.
Yeah, it's a nice little hike.
Yeah, that was really, really weird. But there is a feeling that I can't. I'm even thinking about it now. I'm like, there's something about it. It's like the same thing. It's like when I went to the Arizona in Hawaii, we went out and that was on the bucket list. Like, I got to go to see this thing. So we pull up to the Arizona. It was a Sunday. You go in there and it's manned by all the people that served in Pearl Harbor there. and you go, and you're supposed to go first. You have to go watch this movie about Pearl Harbor when it happened and all that took place, and it's all manned by former soldiers that were there, and Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines that were there, very respectful. So we're there. We go see the video, and it talks about how it started, when it started, the whole thing. Excuse me. And then we come back out, and we have to wait our turn to come back from the Arizona. You get on a boat, and it takes you out to the Arizona. You go to the memorial, and then you stay there for a couple minutes, and then you come back. And I hear, and I'm just joking around, videotaping, like, like, oh my God, there's zeros coming in, And then my wife's like, stop. We just got married, by the way. It's like, could you cut the shit? Because it's a little bit disrespectful. And I'm videotaping, and I swear to God, there's a Japanese zero that flies by, and I'm like, holy shit.
What?
Hand to God. So we see the Japanese zero, and I'm like, do we just see that? And then in a couple of minutes later, there's an American plane chasing after it. They were filming Pearl Harbor when we were there.
Oh, that's awesome.
But how freaking cool is it to, like, oh my God, that's a fucking zero. Because that's what we're like, what are these people doing here?
Yeah.
The eerie thing and the reverence is you go out to the Arizona, and it's really quiet. To the point where, like, parents were like, shut the fuck up, to their kids. Like, they're like, Mommy, I'm gonna kill you. Be quiet. And then the flagpole it's waving, because of the wind where it is, and you hear sounds like fucking Morse code. I swear to God, it sounds like Morse code. I'm like, what if?
Did you try to write it down?
No, I may have it on video, and I didn't. I'm not. I used to know some Morse code, and it just started.
It's not standard anymore, which is stupid.
Well, it should. Well, you did the Boy Scout route, but as the writer in you, I'm like, that's a great story.
Yeah.
What if the soldiers that got trapped in there are still alive? Like, how are they getting out?
They're trying to communicate. Yeah.
And like every time, like, it sounds like a boat up there. Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Someone's fucking help us.
Right.
Yes. Yep. And the end of the movie could be them, either your atypical, well, if we let them out, we owe them back pay, and it doesn't look good for us. There's always one of the senator, I told you should let them die. That's how it, either you release them or whatever. But that's what it sounded like. That's eerie when you go someplace that militaries, some major events happened. And like, I'd love to go over to Normandy. My buddy went there, and he went to on the beach, and he went to the I mean, like, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah. What?
But no. You said stop it. I'm like, I'm shutting up now.
Oh no, not you. Like I have a cat, and he's a pain in the ass sometimes. He's over here meowing at me.
Yeah, of course. It's cats and women, children are the same thing.
Absolutely, they all want attention. Male
My
attention.
oldest is like, go away. I'm like, I had no problem. I'm highly allergic to them. So
am I. Yep.
So you got to dope yourself up.
Well, no, I don't. Well, here's the thing. He's not allowed in the bedroom. I need a fuzz and dander-free room, and I clean constantly in here. And I can't. If I pet him, I have to make sure I wash my hands, because if I touch my eyes, I'm done.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I walk into Petco, and it's not the dog; it's all the cat hair that's there, and it's really weird.
Exactly. But yeah.
I'm wondering if those, like, Dr. Evil cats, like Mr. Bigglesworth, with no hair on them,
that'd probably be fine.
If they're, that's pretty freaky.
You'd have to put like a fake coat on it, though, to make it look presentable.
It really doesn't look that good.
It looks like a fucking walking dick.
Yeah.
It does. Like
kind of looks like some of the English foreign counselors I had in summer camp that always had the covered wagon. Like, what the fuck is that, dude?
Right.
But Keith Roberts.
Foreskin.
Yeah, exactly. It's like dude, you're covered in foreskin.
Basically, yeah. Fucking cat.
Keith Roberts was insane. I mean, I wish I can go back in time for just a little bit. So many things I do. I don't want to keep you guys for forever, but
no, yeah, we're at the. I don't want to keep you either. I mean, we're at the.
Over the. I'm gonna go watch a replay of my Ranger game, so I'm good.
There you go. It's always a pleasure, Brian. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
But before we go, AJ, did you have any Sasquatch questions to ask Brian?
That was me.
Off the top of my head, because I never I lived in the Pacific Northwest for 10 years, never had an encounter with them. Lived in rural Vermont growing up, never an encounter. And now I'm in Texas. I know they say there's some squatches here, and they got that was it Oklahoma's got that bad Dogman area.
Yeah, they do. So I grew up believing that Bigfoot, Pacific Northwest, right? That's where the greatest film ever,
he's over here in New Jersey.
Right. And I went to summer camp up in northwestern Connecticut, and in 1970 something, there was a Bigfoot in my window by my bed, 3 a.m. And I don't scare too often unless I see an IRS letter or a doctor goes, it's a girl, that will scare me. Holy shit.
Another one.
But this thing the head was like ginormous, and it filled this 3 foot, like by 3 foot by 3 foot window or whatever it was. And it was just doing this in the middle of the night, like looking in. I'm surprised you didn't see stuff in Vermont, but you have so much coverage of woods and so rural. You would. How many bears have you seen in Vermont?
Quite a few, actually.
Quite a few. Are they usually by populated areas where food was, or like when you go hunting?
50 acres of woods, so I saw.
Few
in those woods.
Have you ever found a bear carcass?
No.
Isn't that interesting? That you can't find. I mean, this is the part of the thing is they're really good at adaptive camouflage. I could take you up to New York State. I could take you to a spot where New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts meet, and there's that whole area is filled with Bigfoot. But they know that each one of us we're dangerous. 30-06, that'll put a fucking hole in you. Yeah. Okay. All these people, I mean, they want as far away from us as possible. Now, if you want to have an interaction with one of these and in a positive way, it's all about your intention. You can go in and just close your eyes and literally meditate and say, I'm going to this park later. I'm going to go to this park tomorrow. And I'd like to have an interaction with you, but I don't want to get hurt. And I don't want you to get hurt. I just want to have an interaction or a sighting. And they may allow you to because your intentions were there. But they know when you get out of the car, and if they grant you that audience, then they believe in you as like you're not like the rest of them. And you'll just remember, you asked for an interaction. So don't quickly draw out, whatever it is. But it's kind of weird. I mean, I've gotten weird vibes in certain parts of Maine because we stayed in a couple of cabins, and there's a lot of woods there.
Oh yeah. Nothing but woods.
Since that'd be like what, more dense territory.
I mean, it's Bigfoot is anywhere there's deer is the potential for Bigfoot. They like the Appalachian Trail. They migrate up into Canada. And you have different types of Bigfoot over different areas. So the Bigfoot, the Ohio grassman Bigfoot, I think is a different type, and they're motherfucking aggressive. They're really, really aggressive. You don't want to have nothing to do with them. But there are there's the screamer down south, there's a ton of different ones that do different vocalizations and a little bit more aggressive. They watch kids when they go to the park or the playgrounds, when they go camping. There's a lot of Bigfoot there. Just because you didn't see one didn't mean there wasn't one in your campground.
Yeah.
And Texas is a weird state because there's a ton of different sightings for different things. It's Texas is its own animal. That's why it's a republic. It's a republic of Texas.
Right.
Yeah. So, but my buddy was down in Florida. He used to come down from New York down to Davie, Florida. His sister lived down here, and he had his first encounter with a skunk ape, which is, it's the Florida Bigfoot. And the police were called. The farmer that had a farm next to him, it wasn't as populated as it was now. It was a lot of rural area, right? And the farmer shot at it, and he got so pissed off and ripped the fucking head of his bull off.
Whoa!
His prize bull, the head was found. He ripped it off of the bull's head. And people say, "Oh, that can't happen." One
pissed off skunk ape.
Well, yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, that can't happen." Let me just throw you a little comparison, okay? From his discussion, it was either 8 or 9 feet tall minimum, and it's wide and big. He got hit by a police car, not going super fast, but enough where it slammed both its hands on the police car, and the back end of it went up and came down, and then it ran into the woods. And when the captain came, "Why didn't you shoot at it?" He said, "None of these things would have done anything to it." That's how big this thing was. So to give you a comparison of how this thing can rip your head off. You remember Bubbles, the chimp Michael Jackson had?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a baby chimp. That baby chimp at any point in time could have ripped Michael Jackson's arm or any of his limbs off his body without even thinking about it. He had the force of at least 10 men. Chimpanzees are powerful.
Yeah.
So that's maybe Bubbles was maybe like 2, maybe 3 feet max.
And the Bigfoot was like what, 9, 10 feet?
9 to 10 feet.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's easy.
And you're talking over a ton in weight. They pull trees out. Okay. They literally will lift trees. They will move trees. They will shake like trees.
Yeah.
It's no joke. So they're huge, but they're everywhere. It's just, some people get lucky and they see them. I mean, I do those things where I go in the woods where there are sightings and I wait.
Yeah.
And it smells like ass out there. And, I have a couple of techniques that are very, 98% bringing things in. So, and it's worked.
Okay. When was your last Sasquatch trip?
It was supposed to be last weekend.
Oh, really?
2 weekends ago. Yeah. Oh. On the West Coast, we have a Class A sighting. I'm going to be coming up in this month. Before May is over, I will be going on an investigation on the West Coast of Florida and even north of there. And it's not only Bigfoots, but there's portals. I can't wait. And then when I get back up to New York, I'm going to be going up to a couple of places are hotspot. And
nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to do sizzle reels so I can get get something to sell to people.
Yeah,
and then get a show, and then
what does the Class A sighting mean?
That's a police officer seeing it, having evidence.
Okay.
Or a park ranger, or like
the park rangers up here in North Jersey, they call Bigfoot Old Red Eye.
Yeah, well, most of them don't talk about it, but
no.
Northern Jersey, there's a great spot near it's like a German name, like North.
Well, there's one up on the PA New York side in Milford, PA.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a good one.
PA is a hot spot for Bigfoot and Dogman and some other crazy shit. Pennsylvania is, you could be that was insane how much wood coverage is in Pennsylvania. I used to go up to there could be 100 Bigfoots on the roadway and you're driving right by them and you would never notice.
Yeah.
Because during 12 noon in PA, there are some roads, like when I used to go to actually, when you're going to even Gettysburg, not Gettysburg. Yeah, Gettysburg, or you get to go into Harrisburg or whatever.
The Delaware Water Gap and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, the western part of it. I mean, it's 12 noon, the sun's out, and you go through certain parts, and it's like dusk.
Yeah.
So just think about that. In Maine, it's like that too. I went the logging road in Maine going into Canada. Had I known at the time at the tip, just before you get into Canada, there's a Walmart up there with a McDonald's in it that still serves the deep fried apple pie.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They should bring that shit back.
Yeah, right.
Bring back that deep fried apple pie.
That was hot as fuck too.
Oh my God, caution filling hot. It was great though.
Yep.
Let's just call it insulin apple pie.
Basically.
Burns the roof and the tongue at the same time.
Oh my God, it was so freaking good. That and the Wendy's of the apple dumpling was just like, we're just gonna give him 5 pounds of sugar and a couple of apples. I'm like, okay. It's insane. When you go to walking roads, and it's a real quick way to do it because you can get to Canada really quick. You get bald eagles, which are beautiful, but there's so much shit moving in there. And, there could be 15 Bigfoots in there and you would never know. To this day, one time I was going up to Reed State Park and there was this creature standing in like the bog area. And my wife at the time is like, she thinks moose are mystical, magical creatures that don't exist. And I'm like, she's never seen one. I'm like, there's a fucking moose. She goes, that's not a moose. That's a cow. I'm like, exactly. That's a moose.
Right.
She wouldn't believe it. So good. I mean, do you necessarily need to see a Bigfoot? I mean, it'd be nice.
I would like to, but
yeah, I don't need to see one, but it'd be kind of cool.
If one popped out in front of me, be like, this is awesome.
Well, here's what I suggest. If you're driving, they make a motorcycle camera too, but I'd have dash cams up. And if you're going on these trips, long trips, whatever, put the dash cam up because 9 out of 10 times, that's the best way to sight one of them.
Okay.
And you'll be like, something happened. Something went across the whatever, and you'll find it. I had a great UFO encounter. December 10th last year. I went out at night. Right around the corner from us is like a supermarket. I went with my youngest. Had to get some food, whatever. It's 7 o'clock at night. Coming back, I'm at a light, and I see these UFO. I see these 3 lights, red, and red, like in a delta. And it's a type of red where it looks like you're looking at a drone.
Yeah.
And then the right on the side, the right red goes from 1 dot and then elongates and breaks into 2. And I'm like, shuffling around my card. And Miss Ride and Die is over there, like, what's wrong, Dad? I'm like, film out the fucking window, and we're filming. And there was, 4 more that came up behind it, and they went south to north. Damn. And she's watching. I'm gonna see those. And she goes, yeah, I see them. A fleet went up. It was a fleet of UFOs. And she was, she's so smart about it. She goes, well, maybe, they just disappeared. We went north on it, whatever. And she goes, well, maybe they went through a window. She meant a portal, but at least she was thinking right. And she was like, I saw my first, wow, cool, first UFO. I said, Jordan, you didn't see one UFO. You saw 7 of them. She went, woo, fist bumped me, whatever. And then 2 weeks later, the 29th of December, she was having a couple of her friends over. And I have a 2-story house that's built, but I have the back porch lanai, what they call it. It's a fucking porch. But if you call it a lanai, you can charge a couple grand more, I'm like, I don't want to be in the house with all these 4 12-year-olds. So I'm sitting out. I'm like, oh, finish my drink. I'm going to come back in. And I turned around. I'm like, holy shit. One's coming right at me. It's going west to south. So I videotaped both of them. I can show them the next time. And I called her out. And she goes, they're back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of UFOs, and stuff like that. So you see a lot of weird shit, and just live long and prosper. And hopefully we get to do this again.
Absolutely. All right, brother. It's
bye.
Bye. It's almost 11:30 here on these. I think, with the exception of AJ, we're rocking the East Coast time.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? It could be Jaws time.
That's true.
Yeah, I have way too many sounds that great hockey sounds. Dave's a mess. from Slapshot.
Yeah.
Dave's a mess.
Jeez. I got to get some Ghostbusters quotes.
Well, I'm going to try to get some of those. I'm going to go to Dana Barrett's apartment, check her out. I mean, I'm going to check out Dana Barrett.
Check Dana Barrett's apartment. Yep.
Thank you very much. If you want,
yes.
I'm on Facebook at Bryan M. Bowden, and you can message me and say, I saw you on MG and you're a asshole, or I wanted to ask you about whatever, and I'll talk to you and whatever you have back. But
yeah, I'll put some more information in the show notes after this gets uploaded to YouTube.
Yep.
As far as it's saving, and yeah, next time we reconvene, let's do the remote viewing, and you can show your UFO videos too. That'd be cool.
That'd be good. I may be up in New York by then, but yeah.
All right. Keep me posted on your travels too.
I will. And are you just going to end it, or you want me to...
I'll play the outro music.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe on the 8th. Watch your butts. Keep your head on a swivel. And keep your head on a swivel and go out and buy some canned soup and bullets and water. And then next Wednesday is Drew Bay's AD&D campaign, so get ready for that. Get back into playing D&D. All right, everyone. Until then, enjoy.